First of all, there's two kinds of marketing that you do. There's a kind of marketing that when you first launch a website and you're new to this, to test it and things like that. And then as your website grows with someone like Carol, who's been around a lot, and Ann, and all of you actually, it's you do more advanced kind of marketing. So what I want to do is go through and find out the two things that you can pick from when you first started and then now that have worked really well for you.
Well, one thing I love doing is writing. And I found that doing a newsletter, I do a monthly newsletter, and I take something that has come up for me in the month. It might be a personal issue or that I've used tapping with, or it might be, it's more often something that's come up in work I've done with a client. Something that I think will be interesting for other practitioners or people, regular people, lay people, what would you call all of us? And I write an article that would be helpful in understanding how to use EFT. And I send that out to my mailing list and often get obvious indications that people have forwarded that on to their friends. So that's worked well for me. The other thing that's worked well for me is teleclasses. I'm basically shy. I'm not being on stage isn't something that comes really naturally to me. And I've found that being in a teleclass is a way of being invisible and highly visible at the same time, or maybe I suppose audible but invisible at the same time. So I can do borrowing benefits with any number of people from 5 to 200 or more in a teleclass, and we can talk about how to set up a teleclass later. And that's been a good moneymaker when I charge. It's been good advertising when I've done it for free. So those are the two things that I would answer that question with for starters.
Karen, when you said what worked, basically, what worked is giving things out free. So I used to write, I haven't in a while, but write article after article for Gary's website of either live cases that I had worked with, and I really put my all into it. I wrote, and then I said, and then she said, and then on the karate chop I said, I gave it to them. And to this day, I get emails every week saying, I can't believe how much free stuff you've given us. And when you give them free stuff that's valuable, okay, the investment, then they're willing to pay for the product that you do write or record and give to them another time. So that has the writing. You know, Gary always said to us in the beginning, be an authority on something. Pick a subject, pick something that really galvanizes you and write about it and become an expert. So that, and to this day, I also do a free newsletter once a month and I give them EFT suggestions. I write a little story and then I say, and here's what you should do. Take the topic and here's what you do. And I write what to say on the eyebrow point, the side of the eye, so I go through the whole thing. And again, I get emails saying, oh my God, that was just what I needed. I opened up your newsletter, just what I needed. And I also do teleclasses, which people love because the commitment for you all to get here and to pay for your flights and get childcare and take time off from work and get here, we understand what an enormous financial and time commitment that is. When someone is in their jammies at home making a telephone call, for $25 for an hour, it feels like a fantastic investment for them. And as the practitioner, be careful when you market it. Do good pre-framing. Like I say things like, and Gary said, wow, that is a heck of a pre-frame. I said, I know not all of you want to be called on individually. You can't call on everybody individually in an hour teleclass when you've got anything more than 8 people on it. So make it clear they don't all have to be called on. They are getting borrowing benefits even if they never get called on. Be very clear about your boundaries, and it's just a way you start on time, you end on time. That's the other thing. I've had other people talk to me about their bad experiences with other people's teleclasses in all fields. Nobody's on the call, nobody starts on time, nobody has a mute button so you can hear the dogs barking and the dishes being washed in the background. So you as the practitioner, you need to take control of it and have this is what we do, no cell phones because that interrupts the bridge line, turn the mute button on, get the dog and the kids out of the room while you're on your teleclass, to be very clear, and then the people on the class feel safe, okay, and they're willing to talk about their stories, and it's fantastic material. And then I sometimes give those out every once in a while free. I'll offer it to someone. Sometimes a new client will say, I just don't know what to do, and I don't understand EFT, and how does it work? And I'll say, you know what? I'm going to send you a recording of a teleclass I did 3 months ago. It's a $25 gift, and they, and I tell them to give $25 to somebody else. And they think it's fantastic. Well, what is it to me to give a free teleclass to some person who's in desperate need who can't pay $25? Nothing. So lots of little things you can do with that material afterwards.